Hey, I'm going to give you 5 simple steps to stay focused that is going to open up a whole world of possibilities for you. Hello, everyone. Rob Daniel here with the 413 organization. Would love for you to be part of our organization. What is it that you want to make this year? Or what is it that you want to make in a year? $250,000, $500,000, $750,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. These 5 simple steps will get you to wherever you want to go if you stay focused and you concentrate on them. Let's go with this. Number 1, you got to have a personal plan, and you got to make process front and center. It's like this. You got to say, okay, this is my number 1 goal of what I want to accomplish over the next 6 months or the next year. And then you got to have 3 priorities up underneath there that says these priorities will get me to that number 1 goal. And then you got to have about 4, 5, 6 action plans underneath each one of the priorities to say, okay, these action plans, the process here is going to get me to the priority, which the priority will get me to the goal. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, you got to learn to time block. Okay, everybody wants to learn to time block. Everybody says, hey, I like to have a time blocking class. And I give a time blocking class and I tell everyone it's easy to time block. Just get out your calendar, make a little square, and that's time blocking your time. No, that's not what we're really talking about. Time blocking is actually behaving yourself during the time blocking time. You got to behave yourself. You got to build a bunker around that. You got to sweep the minds and get rid of that iPhone or whatever phone you have. Could be an Android, right? And so you've got to get rid of those things. Well, what do I use to be able to call? Get a landline, get another phone. However, you got to make sure that your time blocking time is totally protected. Totally protected. Number 3, accountability. Okay, so we have accountability. How many of you really like to be held accountable? Okay, so I'm going to raise my hand. How many of you do not like to be held accountable? And I'll raise my hand for that. However, I do know that accountability is what we have to have if we are going to get the desired outcome of what we're looking for. We need accountability. Whenever I was selling a lot of houses and I hired a coach back early in the early 90s, I did not need that coach to tell me what to do. I needed that coach to be able to keep me on the straight and narrow because I was squirreling all over the place. So what do you need a coach for? What do you need help in? You've got to have somebody to hold you accountable, whether you hire a coach or whether you get somebody. Have your kids hold you accountable. Tell your kids, hey, listen, kids, if I do this, by this time, we're going to go on a cruise. And boy, you can bet your kids will hold you accountable to that. So again, let's recap what we have talked about so far. Number 1, you got to create a personal plan and make process front and center. Number 2, you got to learn to time block. You got to learn to time block and behave yourself during those time blocking times. Number 3, you got to have somebody to hold you accountable. You got to have some kind of an accountability thing. In other words, if I don't do this consequence happens. Maybe that is an accountability. And then number 4, what about the environment that's around you? How many people around you are naysayers? How many people around you are tearing your dreams down, tearing your goals down? I was always taught to go give somebody or tell everybody your goal. And if they don't laugh, then it's not high enough. It's not big enough. Make your goals big. Make them strong. Make them powerful. Make everybody want to criticize you for even having a goal like that. Don't you know that the world out here is contracting and you're all of a sudden saying, I'm going to go expand? So just know, create people around you, the environment. I've got mentors all over the place. What do you mean you have mentors, Rob? Yeah, I actually read some books. For example, Grant Cardone. I've never met Grant. However, I've read all his books and I call him a mentor of mine. John Maxwell is a mentor of mine. Billy Graham, I've read all of his books. He's a mentor of mine. Who's your mentors? I would love to be your mentor. Let me mentor you. Let me help you. I'm alive and well right here, ready to go to help you any way that I can. So you got to have somebody hold you accountable, and you got to get that environment around you that really helps you get to where you want to be. So create the people around you. And then last, you got to have energy. You got to have the energy behind you. You know, I'm almost 68 years old, and I'm saying to every one of you, I've got the energy. I've got plenty of, well, what do you do, Rob? Well, again, I exercise. I get up early in the morning. Some of you might call it meditating. I call it praying. I take the right vitamins. I take the things that I need to do. However, again, what do you do? I've run marathons. I didn't start till I was 54 years old running marathons. Woo! And I've run 30-something full marathons, 70-something half marathons, even ran the Boston Marathon. What kind of energy do you have? Do you get up out of the bed every single morning and say, man, I've got to go. I got to rock and roll. I got to make things happen. So again, just remember these 5 simple steps that's going to create focus, that's going to open up that world of possibility. You got to focus on a plan. You got to have time blocking, accountability. You got to have the environment that's all around you. And you also got to have the energy. Remember, anybody can be successful. However, not everyone will be successful. This is your time. This is your place. Take massive action. And let's go get our $1 million. Want more tips and techniques? Follow me on social media pages, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget, hit the notification bell.